Hello and welcome to the Emperor's Rejects, your podcast about all things 40k. We's the biggest and the baddest. I'm Kuyo, your host, with your co-host.
Foster, y'all, how y'all doing?
Yep. And today we're going to talk about the Orcsises because it's still Orktober and everybody's been waiting for the codex to drop, and it's almost here.
Yep. They're gonna be big. They're gonna be green. They're gonna be mean too.
We hope so. We've got a lot of previews coming from the Warhammer community, and it looks like the orcs are going to be having seven new models, six vehicles, and one piece of terrain, along with a pretty sexy rule book.
Yeah, they look like they're gonna be doing a lot of different things. They're gonna be shaking up the meta quite a bit. It's gonna be pretty wonderful.
So, you want to jump into the orc vehicles because I know how you love them.
Since I was a young man, I loved the movie Mad Max, and just so they got a very Mad Max look to them, and so yeah. I think one of the things we gotta start looking at though is billowing exhaust clouds. If you're playing vehicles, you're playing speed freaks. That's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Do you want to go into elaborations on on that billowing cloud ability? What
Yes,
is it?
that's going to be one CP. Use this stratagem at the start of your movement phase. Select a Speed Freaks unit from your army. Until the start of your next turn, subtract one from hit rolls for attacks made by ranged weapons that target that unit. And that is amazing.
And I think it's going to be quite useful because I think all the orc vehicles are pretty squishy when you compare them to Imperial Might.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely. I used to play orcs when I first started playing, and they are all squishy, including the big vehicles.
Yeah. So this is going to give them some survivability on the ground. They're fast though, and they hit relatively hard if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and the really nice thing about orc vehicles is that they're all rounders. You're going to be using them in melee and from range generally.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you feel about the new box set coming out, and the fact that some of those vehicles are only going to be inside the box set?
You know, uh, on one hand, I love the idea of getting all these vehicles in the box set. On the other, I think it's a missed opportunity for GW. I think that you're going to have some people literally just not even fully picking up the box set. They're going to go to eBay for the things they want.
True, but I mean, I think we've seen that with pretty much every box set that GW has dropped. Uh,
That's true. That's true.
I'm just wondering if the game itself is going to be any fun.
Well, every one of the game sets that GW has put down has been fun. It's not they're no slouches on their own.
Yeah.
So I think people will enjoy it, but I think your average 40k player is going to be going into it for these sweet rolling death machines.
Yeah. But I'm assuming with Speed Freaks, just like every other box set, eventually the models are gonna come out as standalones that you can buy. It just probably be a couple months.
They
Um,
got to.
yeah, I mean we saw the same thing with the armatures.
Mhm.
I want to say the majority of sets have been like that. They are exclusive for a time period, and then they come out where you can buy them separately.
Yeah, the only one I can think of off the top of my head where we haven't had that quite yet is Tooth and Nail with the Primaris Battle Leader for Space Wolves.
Yeah, but that's still only that was the last box set that came out, so we still got some time for that.
Yeah, we'll probably see that come out probably about 2 months.
Yeah. But I mean, Speed Freaks does look pretty ba. Uh, I guess the only problem is people are speculating that you're not going to be able to take every vehicle with every orc culture.
Well, and I mean, I think that's a good speculation because the way they've got these set out, they very much look like they belong to different orc cultures.
Hmm.
You got your I can't remember which one it is, but it's the one that literally throws squigs at people.
Yeah, yeah,
If that doesn't scream snake bites, I don't know what does.
yeah.
So,
Well, I guess we'll see. We can only speculate right now until they start dropping rules. But
mm,
GW has been giving us rules because people have been antsy for their Orktober.
Oh yeah, no, there is no more rabid a community than the orc community.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of such, today they just dropped some rules for clan Goffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like they're gonna be some monsters. Gonna look at their orc culture, blah blah blah, clan rules, whatever. Uh, the Goths, no mucking about. Each time you roll an unmodified roll, sorry, each time you roll a unmodified hit roll of 6 for attack with a melee weapon made by this model with this culture, immediately make an additional hit roll against the same target using the same weapon. These additional hit rolls cannot themselves generate any further hit rolls.
Now that doesn't sound super strong on its own. To be honest with you, I'm not too super impressed with it, unless you're going to be able to just bring an ungodly amount of boys to the field, and each of those boys is going to get a ridiculous amount of attacks by themselves.
Which I guess I am on the other side of the tent pole with that. I think this is going to be pretty nice. For me, I like abilities that let you get a lot for a little, and just by picking up this orc culture, all of my units are going to generate extra attacks on the 6. And since I'm having a huge amount of models, I should be generating just free damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I've seen where there are some stratagems where you can use it in a similar way, and people just don't do it. But maybe it's because you don't get the same weight of attacks as orcs do.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're just playing with a 30-man boy squad that got a shooter and a chopper, slugger and chopper, there we go. Yeah, slugger and chopper. You're gonna get 3 attacks each, so that's 90 attacks. You're gonna be generating about 14 extra hits with that.
Yeah, on average, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's not bad. 14 free hits. That's like getting an extra almost 5 boys.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, and then if it's gonna work for every unit, so even my war boss, even my knobs, my mega knobs are gonna be getting extra attacks from this.
Yeah,
So
you ain't gonna be using mega knobs. I'm telling you right now.
oh well, that's not what GW said. They said
Well, GW made promises and they didn't keep them.
they said mega knobs are gonna get a hefty reduction in price.
And they'll need more than just a hefty reduction in price. If they're going to be moving as slow as I think they're going to be moving, it's the same reason why you don't see cataphractic terminators.
Well, you're not gonna have to worry about them having slow movement because I think the next stratagem, the one you like, is gonna come into play.
Oh man, that teleporter stratagem, I see a lot of abuse coming from that. It's going it's going to really depend on what the power ratings are, but the way it's worded, it looks like you can put a battle wagon filled to the brim with boys onto the field by a teleporter.
I mean, yeah, but that'll be a huge footprint. It'll really be on your opponent to allow such a huge model like that to just freely go where they want.
Orcs go where they please.
I guess so. I mean, I would like to see some mega knobs just drop down in enemy lines and cause some havoc, but who knows?
Well, and I'm saying that it's not going to be good, but it's one of those things that you and I have both seen on the tournament scene where things that people have said, you're not going to play this. This is terrible. Ain't nobody going to use this. Well, one of our last tournaments, they had the Blight Lord Terminators come down, just wreck everybody because nobody was expecting
No one, no one suspects the Inquisition.
it. Or in this case, the Mega Knobs.
Yeah, pretty much. But I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what their stat profile is. We'll probably have to wait for the codex to get more information on mega knobs and whatnot. But
Well, actually, now that you're bringing this up, Mega Knobs. I want to talk about the next CP, the next stratagem that we got, because the Scarboy stratagem looks ridiculous, and I think that if you can get it to where you can get a good CP farm going, a whole bunch of Scarboys up at the front and Mega Knobs at the back, that might be something worth noting for our competitive players.
I don't even know if you actually need CP farm to do this. If orcs are as cheap as they normally are, you could just run 3 battalions.
And you're right. I think that I misspoke. What I meant was a battery, not a farm.
I mean, I would just be like, okay, 2 HQ, three troops, 2 HQ, 3 troops, 2 HQ, 3 troops. I now have 18 CP to play around with, or
Yeah.
maybe you are going to be playing a full battalion of orcs.
I will be completely honest with you. I do not want to stare down 180 boys with strength 5.
Yeah, that strength 5 is gonna change things a lot. And did I say battalion? I didn't mean battalion. I mean brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a brigade of orcs because you might find good choices in all of the detachments. Not detachment.
Yeah.
You might find good choices in all of the slots.
I'm going to be really interested to see how Storm Boys work out.
Yeah, I think that's the current strategy right now to just have storm boys rush your opponent, have a crap ton of guys moving really fast and just overwhelming people.
Well, and that's going to be the real kicker here is we don't know if boys themselves, if that specifically means our choppa variety. That could also mean a group of storm boys if they've got the keyword.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we'll just have to take a look at that because that would change things.
Yes, it would.
But I guess I like the idea that you brought up is because this happens before the game starts, you can use it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Like
make
I
it.
said, if you've got enough CP to do it, you can go ahead and put on 4 of your squads of boys of your basic orc boy, 30 guys at strength 5. Now you got 120 guys at strength 5. And now, if you do bring Mega Knobs, your opponent's got some real tough decisions to make.
And that change from strength 4 to strength 5 really does make a difference in the game. You're gonna go from wounding things like knights on a 6 to wounding them on a 5.
Yeah, I really do think that in this game, strength 5 is the magic number. Because so much of out of nowhere, you're not being doubled out by even toughness 9 or toughness 8. You now have a third of a chance to actually wound them.
Yeah, so that's gonna make a huge change with them. Um, I guess we have to see. Um,
Yeah. Well, and the other interesting thing that, to me, talk about our strength 5, the more you go up in toughness, what I have found is that the higher your armor or your invuln save also becomes.
mhm.
Which means that if you've got a higher invuln save, which I mean, you and I have both seen, again, shooting at the very least, knights are rocking generally 3 up invuln saves.
Yeah,
So out of nowhere, that it doesn't matter how hard your las cannon punches, but you shoot all these boys at them, if they actually make it, well, now that knight's in trouble.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, they're definitely gonna have an impact on the meta. Um,
And it's going to be really really interesting, to be honest with you.
mhm.
And as the week goes on, we're just going to be getting more and more information. So, like I said, I know you really like the culture of the Goths. I'm not as much impressed by the culture as I am that Scar Boys stratagem.
Yeah. Well, one other thing that I want to bring up that I think is going to be a weakness to the orcs, or well, a weakness and a benefit. Looks like orcs are going to go from 25 mil to 32 mil bases.
Oh,
So I just picked up the kill team box for orcs, and my burner slash looters they came on 32 mil bases.
really?
Yeah, and then if you look at some of the pictures, it looks like all the orcs there are they're on 32 mil. So
Okay. It's good from a modeling perspective, but you're not going to be able to shove as many boys in.
yeah, yeah. So you're getting your boards now are going to be able to have a bigger footprint on the board. So they're literally going to be taking up almost the entire board if you have a horde. But yeah, you're going to get less attacks in close combat, and they can funnel you into the hot gates now.
Yeah, no, having a literal green tide, I think, is going to be a very viable strategy,
Yeah, but
especially if mob rule stays the same.
mhm,
You're going to have a hard time getting rid of all those boys.
yeah. But I wonder how this is gonna make old school orc players feel when I'm like, oh, I need to rebase 200 models.
They ain't going to be happy.
Yeah.
We're going to need to have to start up a fund, a 32 millimeter fund for all of our orc players out there.
So we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll just leave it up to you to decide. But yeah, it looks like 32 mil is going to be the new norm. So orc players, get ready.
Well, even with the old millimeter bases, I think you're still going to be covering a good chunk of the map if you continue on with the 2 inch coverage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think board coverage was ever an issue with them. So it's more leaning on the point of this is just a downside of you're going to get less guys in combat.
Yeah.
But it also means that you can now multi-charge easier if that was an issue for you. You can string them out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
No. I remember the last tournament I was in. I got multi charged by bloodletters from across the field.
yeah, yeah. So you literally be like, hey, I'm going to charge everything and just, hey, sweep the board.
Yep. I'm so glad I'm starting up that IG army. I'm so glad I got Punishers right now.
Preparing for the future.
I'm gonna need them.
I was actually going to bring up another stratagem that I saw, Daka Daka Daka, which is pretty much the goth culture ability, but with shooting.
Well, I don't even think that's a stratagem. I think that's just an army wide rule.
Hmm. Is this the armor rival rule?
I'm fairly certain Daka 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 is an army wide rule.
I don't know. Let's take a look at this. Take orc culture's powerful, or just wily, or just army ride special rules. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, this is just a army wide rule.
yeah.
Interesting.
So if you're playing Goffs, you actually can double dip,
Okay.
which
Not.
actually might make Shooter Boys really good for Goffs.
Whatever. Orc shoot. Orc shooting is not about killing things. It's about rolling dice and feeling good.
I never said it would be good competitively.
It's like, hey, you want to waste a couple minutes? Have some orc shoot. Roll a whole bunch of dice, hit 4 times, and then they save but one.
Orc shooting, the ultimate argument for you need a dice rolling app.
Yeah, yeah. Which I don't know. I'm debating getting a dice rolling app. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone use it, and I don't know how it's going to fit in our meta.
Yeah, I mean it saves a lot of time, but I think a lot of people will be frustrated with it.
Yeah, I'm still wary of the future.
Yeah, future's now, old man.
Have you seen the orc piece of terrain?
I have not actually seen the orc piece of terrain.
Okay, well they have the Mech Boy workshop.
Whoa! They have a Mech Boy workshop.
Yes, which I think it functions similar to the Imperial Knights BS that you were really excited about, the one that lets you fire twice.
Mm. You mean the thing that I'm excited about but I never use?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're doing great podcasting. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's in the book.
the
Uh,
Sacrosan Super Shrine.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure the rumors on that it works similar to that and has a couple of the extra rules, but we'll get more details when GW officially releases it.
Yeah, just just the words, uh, Big Mech's workshop makes my little Gretchen go, yes.
But I'm just wondering if this is going to be a satisfying release for Orc players. How it doesn't seem like we're getting any more, any updated infantry models. It's just going to be vehicles and this one terrain piece.
If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I think that we hyped up the Orktober so much that they could have released a brand new Gazcol, they could have released a brand new Stompa, they could have released an all new line of Orc boys for every culture that were specific to them. And I think we as a community would still be frustrated.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was a lot of marketing, and I mean, they only had what they had.
Yeah. Though, I mean, if you think about it, for any other release, I can't think of any release outside of the Knights Codex where they got so much additional stuff if it wasn't a brand new army.
I mean, well, technically, the knights only got what, the two armatures, and then
The
the
two Castellans and the Preceptor.
yeah. So they got,
Yeah, we got five new models.
and then their terrain piece. So six.
Yeah, so six. So, like I said, I can't think of anything outside of brand new Codex that got this many new models out the gate.
Yeah. So, and then it's replacing things that are insanely outdated.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking over the guns on all of these vehicles, and I am astounded by how good they look.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself that orcs don't hit anything. Like I love this Megatrack scrapjet. I love the 2D3 missile launchers that you get with it, but I love even more that you actually can hit things in the face.
Hmm. Very
That makes
nice.
me so happy. And I love that because I know that you if you have a basic war boss, their wall ability allows you to charge even if you advanced.
Hmm.
I love that they gave that ability to the Death Killer War Trike as well, because what that might mean is that you might see a whole Goff Clan being backed up or led, I should say, probably because they're going to be way ahead of you, the Speed Freaks, and you might see a whole bunch of Megatrack scrapjets just raging up the field with their Assault 2D3 rocket launchers, and then barreling into their opponent with however many attacks they get with their nose drill.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be a fast army, and they're going to be on top of you possibly turn one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be pretty big for in your face fighting.
Yeah, like if you like melee, and you're talking to a man right now that plays Space Wolves primarily, and when I play knights, I always guaranteed there's a gallant there, so I like me some melee.
Hmm.
If I had money, I'd be an orc player right now. Yeah, I also want to talk about this Boondocka Snaz wagon. Have you
Hmm.
seen this?
I think so. What's up with that?
So the Boondocka wagon automatically gets the billowing fumes stratagem, the billowing exhaust cloud stratagem built into it. So you can literally give it a -2 to be hit from ranged weapons.
That's gonna be sexy.
Yes, it is. Now, we were talking earlier about, that strength 5 is that magic number in this game right now. It has an assault 9, strength 5, -2, 1 damage gun.
I'm sorry, I tuned out when you said orc gun. Go. Go.
You can give this bad boy a mech special, which is a 24-inch assault 9, strength 5, -2 AP, 1 damage gun.
Okay, so it's 9 shots, right?
9 shots.
Okay, so you're gonna hit with three.
Mm-hmm. Well, but here's the thing. You can Don't worry about having to choose between firing your burner bottles or your other guns. The Boondocka Snaz wagon has a special rule that lets you use both in the same shooting phase.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and toss 2d6 grenades if you're within 6 inches of something.
Hmm.
So drive-bys will be really good with this as a dedicated infantry killer. I don't think you're going to be killing anything else with this bad boy.
Okay.
Though it is kind of funny. On a 4-up, he explodes instead of a 6-up.
Oh, okay, that's pretty useful.
Yeah. And then you got your Rucka Truck Squig Buggy, which I don't know why I love this thing so much. It's just so hilarious. The idea of orcs literally slingshotting squigs at people.
Well, yeah, you love it because it's ridiculous.
You got your bile squig with your assault 2d6, always wounding on a 4 up, unless it's a vehicle or Titanic, in which case it wounds on a 6. You got a bitey squig, which is assault 2, strength 5, negative 3, 2 damage. So that's going to be your Primaris killer or
Mhm.
your Terminator killer.
Yeah.
You got your boom squig, assault 2d3, strength 6, negative 1, d3 damage. I don't think you'll see that one being used all that much, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Nah. And that's your heavy squig launchers. You got your shotgun, which, love
Everyone,
shotgun.
everyone needs
We
a
are
shotgun.
on Fury Road after all.
True.
You got your squig launcher. Uh, when attacking with this weapon, you choose one of the profiles. So it's a lot like when you're shooting with your Death Watch and their special ammunition.
Yeah, giving you a lot of variety.
Yeah, so you just essentially get downgraded shot versions of the earlier things. And then you also got stick squigs, which are just grenades, and it also comes with saw blades, because why not?
Okay, the orcs they got to do some crumping.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm looking at the picture right now of this orc just looking at the squig that he's shoving inside of this tube. It makes me so happy. It's just like, you're going in there, boy. Don't you bite me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got our booster blaster, which is going to be pretty nice. Though to be honest with you, I mean it's got an assault 6 auto cannon, but I don't know if it's going to be doing all that well. But it does have a spiked ram, and whenever this model charges on a 4 up, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds.
That is nice.
Yeah, it's going to really depend on what other weapons it comes with for melee, but being able to jump on your opponent and just deal mortal wounds on the charge is pretty nice.
Hmm.
But that my favorite one out of all these, the one I think you're going to see the most out of, is the shock jump dragsta.
Is
So
that
go on.
is that the one with the teleportation?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It hits on threes, which is almost unheard of for orc shooting. Assault 2 at 24 inches, super plasma gun. So if you roll an unmodified hit roll of a 1 for this weapon, the bearer suffers 1 mortal wound.
Okay.
So because it's a vehicle, it ain't going to die. But each time you make a wound roll of a 6 plus, the target suffers 1 additional mortal wound from what you just did.
That's not bad at all.
No, no, it's not. But that's not the real reason why I think it's so amazing. When you go ahead and you advance with this, and again, remember, all of your shots are assault weapons so far from what I've seen. But when you advance with this on a 4 up, you can teleport it to another spot on the field, 9 inches away. Sorry, is 9 inches away from an opponent. So you can set it up anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away.
Oh, that's gonna be ridiculous,
Yeah,
especially for
but
gunline armies.
it's going to be stupid for gunline armies. It's going to be stupid for holding objectives. I'm just imagining you bring about 4 of these, and you give your opponent something bigger to chew on, and then you can ride the coattails of the entire army coming up while still advancing. So you still get that 4 up on the hit, and then out of nowhere, your opponent's got to deal with just a whole bunch of orcs coming in on their back line. And at the end of the game, when you need to get those objectives back, you try to teleport back to your back line to your objectives.
That is gonna change some games. To be honest, that's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
pretty ridiculous. Fire, 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 and fly away.
Yep. It's something I can't think of off the top of my head too many armies being able to just say, yeah, I get that auto teleport right there.
Yeah. And then if you want to save a kill point, you're about to die. Just teleport away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Teleport them away and put them behind a building.
yeah. It leaves a lot of strategies open, and I like abilities that give you flexibility.
So, and if I had to make a guess, I actually, from what I heard, I don't think these things are going to be all that expensive.
I think that's my biggest concern. I want these orc vehicles to be cheap. They need to be dirt cheap.
Yeah, they need to be dirt cheap and easy to kill. They need to be high risk, high reward.
Yeah, because I see a lot of vehicles that are just mispointed. Spe-
You're telling me, brother.
Speaking from my own house, freaking chimeras are useless.
Dra- Try drop pods.
No, what are those?
Like 100 points of nothing.
Yeah, and
You can't even bring them in on the first turn anymore.
sorry if any players are offended, but yeah, chimeras are super overpriced.
Hmm.
And yeah, drop pods lost their role in the game pretty much. Like lore wise, they just don't work right.
I'm literally looking at 6 drop pods that have been sitting on my shelf since the beginning of 8th edition.
Yeah.
I thought about selling them,
No,
and then I realized no one would buy them.
no, mine sold, but I also sold mine for like 50% of the market value.
It would literally be better if I melted them down and sold the plastic right now.
Maybe.
Poor Ragnar's sitting there going, "One day, my beautiful, will be back." So,
So
but
Anthony,
yeah, I think Orc's going to be pretty good.
yeah, we'll be bringing you more updates on orc culture, and also whenever the codex drops, one of us will pick it up and we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, this is gonna be a short one for us. Thank you for listening in. Do the YouTube stuff of liking, subscribing, and I don't know what else you gotta do.
Crump that bell.
All right, there we go. This was the Emperor's Rejects. Thanks for listening, and as always, the Emperor protects.